Ladies and gentlemen, sons and daughters of Africa, there are some things that do happen in our continent that attract our attention and cannot go unaddressed. There have been rumors about some unprecedented occurrences in Burkina Faso. We know that Burkina Faso currently is under a junta leadership led by Captain Ibrahim Traore. Ever since Traore came into power through military coup, he has emerged as one of the finest African leaders in this century and under African new dispensation. Is a man who is envied, a man who is loved by many people, a man who has shown example on how a country should be led. He was begged by his fellow countrymen to stand in as the president, and he has tried to do his best. He had transformed Burkina Faso in the shortest time possible that he has been in power. And it is said that Ibrahim Traore could bear the spirit of the founding father of Burkina Faso, Thomas Sankara. But ladies and gentlemen, there are two things which I want to address. I have heard that Burkina Faso has been under attack. The assassination attempt on the life of Captain Ibrahim Traore has attached our souls and have sparked mixed reaction across the continent of Africa and without. Because this one does not only threaten the life of the president, but also it touches on the security of the nation. The second thing that I want also to talk about on this video is what we are hearing. I can't confirm this because I have tried to source this information properly about the protest that the Burkinabés were doing in France over the alleged assassination or atrocities that were done to the Fulanis in Burkina Faso. The protesters in France are said to be the citizens of Burkina Faso who are immigrants in France. And that one has also sparked a mixed reaction. But the truth lies with the Burkinabe themselves. I am not a Burkinabe, but I am an African. So anything that happens in Africa, more so to a country which has come to the limelight, like Burkina Faso under the leadership of Ibrahim Traore, who has shown how a country should be run and has instilled inspiration into the life of many young Africans, who has shown Africans that they can do it because it can be done. What it needs is a dedication and focus. We must be determined to change our country. Ibrahim Traore, as one of the youngest leaders so far in Africa and in the world, has come out to stop France from exploiting Burkina Faso, from reaping the Burkina Faso resources to go and develop their country, to filtrate their stock exchange market with minerals and raw materials from African continent. And therefore, there is a term which is being used, but it is not a good one. It is a term that has been used over and over to divide Africans along religious line. This word is the jihadist. It is a word which has been largely associated to a terrorist. And this terrorist, in most instances, they are said to be inclined toward Islamic religion. And there are men and women whom are believed to be radicals. This word is not the right word to use, because sometimes it is used to refer to fellow Africans whom sometimes arise as a rebellion group or a revolutionary group who fight for something in their land, for their rights, or for their people. So it is high time Africans, they sit down with their men and women and to check into the origin of this conflict that arise either along religious line or against a certain region or an ethnic group against another. These are civil wars that have led wars in Africa since the inception of what we called the independence. Since we regained our independence from various colonizers, African countries has been ensured that are not stable, are not peaceful, so that they can realize their potential and development for them to move forward to deliver services to their people. The colonial masters do it in different ways, directly or indirectly. They do it by putting the puppet who masquerade as leaders, democratically elected or through military coups. Another way they come up, they create groups within the various countries, and these groups are financed and supplied with military equipments and weapons to fight through the former colonizers if they feel that the leadership in place are not the comprador bourgeoisies or their surrogates who do their biddings. They start to plan on how to either overthrow you or to assassinate you. So at the moment, there are talks that the life of Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, has been threatened, has been tried with the assassination attempt. But thank God, he has not been killed. But what must be known is that if there is no such kind of threats, then Ibrahim Traore must be protected. The alleged protest in France, if at all these are Burkina Faso, because I have tried to listen to Africans reacting to these alleged protests, that they are fake, or the France have paid some few immigrants in France to try to tarnish the name of Ibrahim Traore, because they are saying that these protesters want Ibrahim Traore out of office because he is a dictator and he patronaged the assassination or the atrocities that took place among the Fulanis in Burkina Faso. They say that if you want to kill a dog, you give it a bad name. The same the NATO did to Muammar Gaddafi, who led Libya for 40 years. And it is said that life was more better in Libya during Gaddafi's time than it is now. But Africans or the Libyans were told that Gaddafi is a dictator, a murderer, person who sponsors terrorism, facilitates terrorism, and do anything else to support terrorism. Now, Ibrahim Traore has been categorized in the same WhatsApp group with the dictators because he has denied the Western powers the avenue to exploit resources from that West African country to restock their stock exchange in their Paris markets. So, ladies and gentlemen, whether true or not, Burkina Faso security is threatened. We have seen what is going on in Congo now. African countries, leaders, citizens, and the entire world have focused in Congo. But even before we get the solution or prescribe the melody for what is going on in Congo, already a war is erupting again in Southern Sudan. Before we settle the one in Southern Sudan, the military leadership in North or in Khartoum, Sudan, have not established. And there is another group also that has come to form another government within the same government of Sudan. So there are a lot of wars of different intensities going on in Africa, and these wars are being perpetrated and supported by some forces outside Africa for some certain reason. If you want to know that these wars are being influenced from outside Africa, these wars are being fought in countries with natural resources that are very useful in international market or for some industry and companies outside Africa, because they know that Africans have no potential to extract these minerals and to use them for their own goods. So they want to extract them, go utilize them or process them into fine products or into final goods, then resend them and sell them back to Africans in very, very expensive prices. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you and may God bless you.